Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Divide & Conquer as we are continuing with faction overviews with today the Witch Knight of the Witchrealm of Angmar. So, diving right in, we have the starting region of Angmar. As Angmar, you start with 3 regions, which is overall quite average. You have Khazad-Dûm in the north, Litash in the center and Mount Cram in the south. So 3 regions, it's alright. In every region we have a few troops. We have 3 units and with Drangu, another 3 with Skilled, and another 3 here with Agandar. And we have a general over here, Morhol the Hillman, who has quite a few Ruidar units. So overall, if you combine that together, you have a reasonable average starting army. Because also here we have more units. I didn't solve them. We have Hunvorn and a unit of Barrowwise, which is pretty powerful. So altogether, I think you have more than a reasonable army to have early doors for your conquest. So reasonable starting army. And then go to your bodyguards, and you have quite a few unique. Morhold the Hillman has some Hillman units, of course. He has Rudar Huskals, one of the best Rudar units. Over here we have Drangu, who comes with Mount Graham Raiders. Really, actually really annoying unit to fight against. Skilled has some Dark Blades, yes, he's still got Dark Blades. Really powerful archer unit. And over here we have Agandar, who comes with Temple War. So, one of the best units an evil faction can have, actually. So there are no standard bodyguards, because your standard bodyguard are the Witch Knights. So you all have unique bodyguards. Then, dealing with family trees, and we can be simple about that. You don't have one. You are Teutonic. You answer to the Witch Knight of Angmar, and there's no family tree with the Nazguls, of course. Then, geographical area. We are in the realm of Angmar, which is quite defensive. We have the mountains all surrounding us, actually. We have Mount Graham within the mountains. Litash protected from the east by Gundabad. And we have Khazad-Dûm at the edge of the mountain. So, pretty well defended. Do note that you have the green books where you can see the type of terrain you are in, which is always handy because certain units train faster in certain regions than others. I'm not sure whether that's the case for you as well, but some factions have certain barracks that replenish faster in certain terrain regions. Right, we can continue quickly to expansion. Well, things are pretty straightforward. You have rebel regions all around. Morvatard, Nufka, Rocklaw, Barchlak, Athelin, Angsul, Gobedrain, all the way up to Frurost. Do note God Halagoth is taken by the dwarves in the auto expansion. So just like Ar-Adunaim, Paketa isn't, but there are a few regions taken in the auto expansion, so do keep that in mind. But there is still enough to take. My personal suggestion would be taking Nofa, Rocklaw, Barchlak and Angsul, and look from there what you can grab as well. Personally, I don't like Athelin. It's just a village, undefendable, straight on the border with Adrian. Gobedrain is pretty useful more of a thought is alright, but do note the elves do take combat print in the auto expansion, so you border them right away. And the high elves are, even in the early doors, really powerful, even though they don't have that much money. So watch out for them. So personally, I would say Nofra, Rocklaw, Barchlok, and Angsul, and take it a little bit slower from there. Then dealing with custom battle maps. We have, well, of all of our starting regions are custom. Mount Graham, Litosh, and Khazad-Dûm. Litosh, we start with Litosh, which is a lot like the strategy model. One ring of walls and the town center is within it. Mount Graham is a mountain holding, it's a mountain settlement, and is also pretty straightforward. I think it has the access from 2 sides, so you can enter the city from both sides of the city, and is also in the battle map accessible from both sides. Angmar, at the time of recording, I recently conquered Angmar with my Ar-Adunaim campaign, and it also looks a lot like the strategy model. One outer wall, and then you come in an outskirts of the settlement, where you can fight, and you have an inner circle with a separate gate. So it is really good, really easy to defend. You can have two choke points, one on the outer wall, one on the inner wall, and within the inner wall there is the town center, so really defensible. Other custom settlements are Goblin Town, Imladris, we have Ossul until it is upgraded, because then until it's upgraded it uses the fort of Hanet something. No, this is the Tower of Amonsul. So this one is kind of custom. Bree is custom. Deadman's Dyke is custom. Anuminas is custom. Mangalan is custom. Hobbiton is custom. No, Hobbiton is not custom. It is a Hobbit settlement. So it is kind of custom, not really. All the way up down south, Tarbet isn't custom, that's regular. Austin and Till is custom, you have Khazad-Dûm is custom. Zakala is custom, Goblin Town is custom. We have quite a few custom settlements over here. So there will be enough variety in fighting. Especially if you turn on Gundabad, you have all these settlements that are custom. Gundabad, Berserkle, and Dane's Halls. So you have enough variety of fighting. Right, dealing with diplomacy. As Angmar, you start at war with the Ar-Adunaim, Bree, Ar-Adunaim, and the High Elves, so enough enemies. You start allied to Mordor, Goblin, to Moria, and to Gundabad. So you have protection from your east, but you are surrounded by enemies everywhere, which can make the campaign pretty hard actually. Then dealing with building browser. Let's go to the building browser. Angmar has not a regular recruitment system, but it is not that odd either. Most of your troops come from the barracks line, so both your infantry and your archers come from the barracks line. And then you have your cavalry, and all of your cavalry are wargs. So you have a separate warg barracks that provides all of your cavalry. So in the first 2 tiers you have the skirmishers and raiders. The first one is a javelin unit, the second one is an archer unit, And upgrade the Mount Graham stables provides you with a dedicated strike walk unit, the Mount Graham Marauders, and a second archer unit, the Mount Graham Raiders. And this is also the bodyguard of Drangu in Mount Graham. And unlike what the name said, the Mount Graham stables is buildable everywhere. Is that a good sentence? I'm not sure. You can build them anywhere. Anyways, so it's not restricted to only Mount Graham. The third option of recruitment is the Ruadar camp, which provides your Ruadar units. Again, 2 tiers, the Hillman camp and the Hillman barracks. And for you, as Angmar, you can build it everywhere. So, the Dunedain is only restricted to the Ruadar lands. So, the Ruadar uplands in Kamet Bryn. And I think the Ruadar lowlands in Nokfa Rocklaw. But you can build it everywhere. There's no restriction for this building for you. The fourth place of recruitment is the Fighter's Pit. It's your only guild. It's quite easy to obtain, and it provides you with the Orc Fighters, the Orc Hunters. And the second tier gives you just more of the same. Then let's take a look. You have access to ports and you have access to ships. But you are not a seafaring nation, so you only can build the long ships. Barracks-wise, you are seen as a human faction, which allows you to build all the way up to armorer. You're not a great smithing faction like the Dunedain or the Elves or the Dwarves. So only all the way up to armorer. Besides that, there is not much. There's only one last thing that you need to take a look at, and that is your culture building. Because your culture building, from the second tier and up to the third tier, it allows you to train barrow-wise, but not everywhere. To be able to train the barrow-wise, you need the barrow resource, and I'm not sure where it is over here. That's iron. Well, let's take a look. Oh, no, it's not him. Let's take a look at Mangalen, where there are lots of these resources. And Mangalen is all the way up here. This is the barrow resource. And it can mainly be found in major Numenorian cities. And of course Mangalen, because it's quite famous for it. So the barrow resource, Mangalen has one, Deadman's Dyke has one over here, Numenor has some, maybe Osul, yes, over here. I think Vale of Dorwinion should have one. No, Vale of Dorwinion don't have one. But also Tarbeth has one over here. If you go further down south, Isengard has one. And the Hornburg has one. But also in Gondor you will find one at Minas Tirith. Over here. Maybe Osgiliath, but I don't think they have. No. Osgiliath don't have one. But there are certain Numenorian ancient Numenorian cities who have the barrow-wide resource, and that is the place where you can train them from your culture building. Exception is Mangalen, because Mangalen has a dedicated building for the barrow-wides. It's called the Crypts, the Mangalen Crypts or something. Not sure what's called, but it is a specific building in Mangalen where you can also train barrow-wise for your own. You have special General Hunvorn who comes with barrel whites. So more than enough options. And a really powerful unit actually. Don't underestimate the barrel whites. Let's take a quick look at it. I think that's everything I need to say about the buildings. And then any scripts or gameplay events. And Angmar only has one gameplay event, and that is the return of the Witch Knight. For the Witch Knight, there are 4 conditions that have to be met to get the Witch Knight. In the first place, you need to hold Khazad-Dûm. So you need to own Khazad-Dûm. Let's put him back. Own Khazad-Dûm. You need to own Imladris. And you need to own Deadman's Dyke. If those 3 settlements are owned, there is a last condition that needs to be met. And that is that Mordor needs to be alive. Well, in most of the cases, Mordor, this one will automatically be met, because the AI have a very hard time beating Mordor. It almost never occurs that Mordor is dead before you have reached the conditions to get the Witch Knight. Once you have acquired the Witch Knight, be aware that he will not replenish for you. So if he will be killed in battle, you will lose him. He will not replenish like the Nazgul do. For one time, I think they replenish. The Witch Knight won't. So if you lose him, he's gone. He will come with a very powerful bodyguard, which is, I think, trainable in here. Not trainable in here. Where does he come from then? I'm not sure. But he come with Guardians of Khazad-Dûm. Which is annoying that I can't find him. It's not the Nord God. I would say it is in here, but it's not in here either. It's not in here. It's not in here. Or is it at the height there in here? Witch Knights, Trolls. No, that's odd. I'm not sure how it's possible. But you should be able to train a unit of Guardians of Khazad-Dûm, because we are in Khazad-Dûm. I can't find where you can train them. I would say it's a high tier building actually. Blacksmiths. Stage. Oh, here we got them. Guardians of Khazad-Dûm. So the Witch Knight spawns with this unit. Very powerful. 8 attack, 9 charge, 23 defense. Really good cavalry unit. And but once he's dead, he's gone. So that is your only gameplay event. Unfortunately, Angmar don't need more, in my opinion. It is a fun campaign, anyways. It's one of the more harder ones. Although once you have the ball rolling, they will, in my opinion, they're not that hard anymore. Once you have a reasonable production of Iron Crown units, it's actually quite easy. Because the Iron Crown units are quite armored and perform pretty good in most battles. So, very nice campaign. I really enjoy them. It's one of the few evil factions I really get some joy out, because also Gundabad is another one, because they have more of this elite feeling instead of, well, the Misty Mountains with spam over and over again. Mordor, same story. And they have this orcish human hybrid faction. I've really enjoyed my Angmar campaign, and I hope you guys will so too. But for now, I will end the campaign side of this overview, and I will see you on the battle map side. And welcome to the battle map side of Angmar. And in a quick overview, you see that we are pretty well-rounded factions, which with enough options in infantry, decent options in cavalry department, and reasonable options in the missile department. So let's just dive in and let's see what Angmar has to offer. And we start with the Hillman, with a 4 attack, a 6 charge, and a 3 defense. These are your units that are there for dying. There are 215 of them, so enough dying to do. You have poor morale spawns slightly faster than other units. Bonus against all mounts. I think because of the axes or something. Most of the time that's something to do with the weaponry they have. But a bonus against all mounts. But further than that, no real advancements. They are supported on this, well, kind of trash tier with a more defensive unit. The Thralls with a set attack of 2, a charge of 4, which is both pretty abysmal. But with the defense of 6, they are pretty alright. They will hold the line for quite a while before they are all dead. But still, they have poor morale spawns, and they have a bonus against mounts, but it's not actually listed here actually, which is the first time I see this, because most of the time spear units also have a special line here where there is descripted that they have a bonus against all mounts. But the Thralls, there's also a more offensive unit. The Ruidar Savages with a 6 attack, an 8 charge, a 6 defense, but their attack is armor piercing, so pretty good early doors against more armored units. They have average morale, impetuous morale spawns, 5% movement bonus, and they come from the Ruidar barracks, just like the Hillmen and the Thralls. I think they come from your meeting hall buildings. Then going to your militia tier, starting again with a Ruidar unit, the Ruidar Pikemen, with a 3 attack, 4 charge, 7 defense. They are, well, low tier pikemen. It is what you can expect at this tier. They have average morale, impetuous morale spawns, bonus against mounts, well, just a decent low tier pike unit. And they come from the Ruidar barracks. And these guys, the Angmar infantry, who comes from your regular barracks with a 6 attack, 4 charge, 11 defense. Just better units. Average morale spawns. What can I say? Just good sword and board infantry. On this line, we are supported by the Angmar archers. 3 attack, 3 missiles, 2 charge, 6 defense. First archer unit, and actually for a militia tier unit, a pretty decent one. Average morale spawns, 24 missiles, 160 meter range, and average accuracy. Most of the times you see that with the accuracy at this tier you have low accuracy. The range is reasonable to pretty good actually. I think Gondor Militia has 150, and Ar-Adunaim the Rosodon units. I just recorded the Ar-Adunaim overview, so I have them fresh in my mind. I think the Rosodon are slightly better, but the Ar-Adunaim Numenorians are also pretty well known for their archery. So 160 is not bad at all. So good early tier archers. On this tier we also have support of cavalry, but we all have missile cavalry, starting with the Warg Skirmisher, which is a javelin unit with a 5 melee attack, 8 missile attack, which is armor piercing, 6 charge, 8 defense, average morale, impetuous morale response, 10% fast, but I think that has to do with the animation of the Wargs. The Wargs use the camel animation of Medieval Total War 2. And I think on animation they are slightly slower than cavalry. So to have them really match up with horses, I think this movement bonus is applied. They have 4 missiles, 56 meter range, average accuracy. Not great, not bad, just what you may expect. Then Warg Raiders with, I think, a little bit worse stats. Yes, 4 melee attack, 4 missile attack, 4 charge, 6 defense, average morale, impetuous morale response, 32 missiles, 110 meter range, average accuracy, and most of the time are hell annoying. If you don't have archers yourself, these guys are just hell on earth. Because they are cavalry, you will never be able to catch them with cavalry. They shoot down your infantry, who is too slow. Only if you have archers of your own, you have a little bit of a chance to take these guys down. Really annoying unit to fight against, and really useful if you have them on your army. Then we go in something I don't do that often, in an in-between unit, the Rudar Huskars, because they are not as good as the Iron Crown units, and they really lack in the defense on that department. Yes, really lack in defense on the department, but they are definitely stronger than the Angmar infantry. Well, they are pretty on par actually, but they have armor piercing abilities. So attack of 8, which is armor piercing, charge of 9, total defense of 13, good morale, impetuous morale response, slightly faster, and of course the bodyguard of, what's his name? Meerhold or something? I forgot the name of the guy in the fort. He has these guys as bodyguard. Really powerful strike unit, especially early games. Use them well, and they will repay themselves quite quickly. Then going to your mainstream units, we have done all of the Rudar units. I forgot one thing, but I couldn't fit them in this army, so I will take them straight away. And they come at the same tier as the Huskar, so in between your militia and your mainstream, and those are the Rudar Lensmen. With an 8 melee attack, a 9 missile attack, which is armor piercing. Do note, it is the javelins, or the axes in this case, that are armor piercing. 9 charge, 11 defense, good morale, impetuous morale response, 3 missiles, 65 meter range, high accuracy. I think when they are done, they use axes as well, but I'm not certain whether they are armor piercing. They might be. Then dealing with your mainstream, and we have the Iron Crown units. And starting with the most defensive one is the Iron Crown Halberdiers. And once upgraded, these guys are actually really tanky in battle. But they have a 6 attack, 4 charge, 60 defense, good morale spawns, bonus against mounts. These are solid line infantry who can hold the line whenever necessary against whoever necessarily. A really, really good unit. They are supported by a more offensive unit, the Iron Crown Warriors, with an attack of 13, charge of 7, defense of 16. So even when these guys are in combat, they are able to hold themselves for quite a while. Good morale spawns, no further bonuses, just a good strike infantry. And these guys are supported by, on the one hand, the Iron Crown Longbowmen with a 6 melee attack, a 5 missile attack, 3 charge, 14 defense, good morale spawns, 24 missiles, 180 meter range, and a high accuracy. So pretty decent archers, but still pretty terrible compared to your enemies. Because don't forget, you will be fighting the Dunedain, who have rangers, the High Elves, who are Elves. Do I need to say more? The only faction you do have advantage against are the Dwarves. But the Dwarves are well armored, so we'll have a hard time against them as well. And the Dwarves of Ar-Adunaim has a decent range of archers themselves. Most are all crossbowmen, but even crossbowmen are pretty well armed, and has high damage against you. So your armor, the crossbows are most of the time armor piercing, so your armor will be halved, and you don't have defense against missiles. So against the crossbowmen, maybe not the early tier, the Ar-Adunaim scouts, but the longbeards and the broad-beam marksmen you will struggle against if you go to a 1-to-1 missile fight, even though you outrange them. The other support in the form of cavalry, we have 2 options here, both coming from the Mount Graham stables, and both called Mount Graham units. First we have, let's start with the Marauders, which is a shock cavalry, so dare to charge in, deal the damage, withdraw, repeat. They have an 8 attack, a 9 charge, 60 defense, good morale, patched morale spawns, 5% movement bonus, and because they are shock cavalry, they have a secondary attack of 7. They're not restricted. No, you can train them everywhere. And train them quite often, because shock cavalry is really, really useful. And this is, well, your only dedicated shock cavalry, as you will see in just a moment. Again, another horse cavalry, the most annoying thing in medieval 2 Total War, horse archers. And you have a second unit of that, the Mount Graham Raiders, with a 6 melee attack, 6 missile attack, 6 charge, 30 defense, good morale, patched morale spawns, 32 missiles, 120 meter range, and a high accuracy. These guys will deal quite some damage. And I have to think, because it is either this unit or the Marauders that Drangu comes with, and I think it are the Raiders. So you will have a general dedicated with this unit. Then going to your elite tier units, and let's start with one that is least restricted, and that is actually an archer unit, but we start with the Barrow Whites. With a 12 attack, which is armor piercing, an 8 charge, a 20 defense, 2 hit points, frighten nearby enemies, cannot be staggered, excellent morale but locked, 15% movement bonus, patched morale spawns, I forgot that. These are pretty brutal. But do know there are only 57 of them. And they only come from the Barrow-wide resource. And they can be trained in your culture bonus, in your culture building. And you have a general with this Rhun, which is in the fort just south of Khazad-Dûm. Then the North Guard. I think the North Guard is restricted. No, it isn't. Oh, I thought they are restricted or they were restricted. But this is your elite infantry unit and apparently trainable everywhere with a 7 attack, which is armor piercing, a 6 charge, 24 defense, very good morale response, no movement bonus, just a good elite tier sword and board unit. And with a small bonus being armor piercing. Then going to your Dark Blades. I think these guys are trainable everywhere. But let's take a quick look. Oh no, they only come from the Frozen North region. Which is, I think, Khazad-Dûm, Litash, maybe Mount Graham, probably Angsul. And I think that's about it. So these guys are pretty restricted as well. It's the unit that can use sharpened stakes for you. And they can hide everywhere, frighten nearby enemies. 13 melee attack, which is pretty good for an archer unit. 6 missile attack, which is pretty abysmal for an elite archer unit. 8 charge, 14 defense. Very good morale response, 10% movement bonus. 30 missile, 190 meter range, which is, again, pretty bad for an elite tier archer unit. High accuracy, good. Bonus against mounts, and I think when they are done, they are just a sword unit. But judging on this, it might be an archer unit, a spear unit. But I think it is a sword unit. And again, you have an general starting with this unit, skilled, so use them well. Then going to the far other side. We have 2 units. I think both of them are restricted. But I start with the Snow Trolls, because I do have to explain this unit. You can train them, but you can train them only in 2 places. The first one is Mount Gundabad. They come from the unique building, the Gates of Gundabad. And it's not very likely if you stay in line with the lore that you will get Gundabad. Unless either Gundabad will perform very badly or you put a knife in Gundabad's back and take it. The second place is the Athamoors, which is the town of Morvathar, just southeast of Mount Graham. But if you want to train them there, you need to upgrade it. It needs to be, I think, a large town. And it will be trained, can be trained in the walls, in the wall building. So there are only 2 places where you can train them. But you have access to them. They have an attack of 42, 13 charge, 36 total defense, majority in defense, skill and armor. There's 6 hit points, skilled against mount, frightening by enemies, cannot be staggered, so if an enemy attacks, there will be an animation where it keeps on being attacked and cannot attack back. Trolls don't have this animation. They cannot be staggered, they cannot be slowed down. They just continue to their goal. They have excellent morale, but it's locked. Impetuous morale response, 50% movement bonus. What do I need to say about trolls? They're probably not as powerful as regular trolls, but they are not regular trolls. Then we have the Guardians of Khazad-Dûm. which is the general unit of the Witch Knight, with an 8 attack, 9 charge, 23 defense, very good morale spawns. They're slightly slower than other cavalry, but they do frighten nearby other cavalry and are armor piercing. They look pretty cool. And I think they are restricted to Khazad-Dûm only. So, are very restricted. Then, last but not least, your general unit, the Witch Knight, from which you don't have a general to start with a 10 attack, a 6 charge, 28 defense, very good morale, but not locked, so you can save your generals who don't have unique bodyguards. Good morale response, and they frighten nearby enemies. That's a nice little feature. Just regular sword and board units. In my experience, they are pretty tanky actually. Really good unit. Alright, that is the Realm of Angmar. I hope you guys have enjoyed this this overview. I do want to try to perform with the trolls, because I think we have the opportunity therefore. But I might be wrong. Let's get a look at the enemy. I already mentioned they do have trolls. But which faction we have that do have trolls? We did not attend to. I see some brown. They have catapults, else it would be a pretty big giveaway. But they have these small things over here. I think they are the wargs. So they do have regular wargs without riders. A lot of brown, and it are of course the goblins of the Misty Mountains. And are these indeed the wargs? I think they are. Yes, they are. The warg pack. And of course, the orcs have trolls themselves. But I did take out the Flame Wrangler. I don't like to have siege equipment in these battles most of the time, because they pretty much ruin every battle. They're charging in? No, they don't. Just like Angmar, Moria does have some walks, and they have war crossbows, so it's pretty interesting, because Moria do have a few good units nowadays with some crossbow, with the Black Pit units. They were already in the game, but they are pretty good, and the crossbows are a nice addition. What are the regular stats? Oh, this is actually pretty terrible. I have my mid-tier units are better than the high-tier units. Ooh. I think at least that's the mid-tier that are the high-tier units, I would suggest. Of course, they have trolls to in addition. Why don't you go down and just deal some damage? Why don't you just shoot these guys? They are just in front of you. Just kill. Guess they will rip through these guys like knife through butter. I hope so, at least. Oh, my walks haven't performed that greatly. What the hell are you guys doing? Why don't you just go deal with them? Oh, these trolls are not great, actually. I already lost half of them. They are fighting the infantry. Are they fighting the... They're fighting the overseers as well. Yeah, they are armor pit. Oh, they are really being taken down. Damn. That's not, that's not great. Why I got the feeling that when I fight trolls, they always perform better than this. Oh, the Dark Blades are not having a great time either. And there I was thinking that I would defeat Moria in such an easy time. Oh, boy, are you joking?
Only half the enemy force remains. Our allies have fled the field like cowards. If we continue like this, we will smash them. The enemy general abandons his...
Yeah, now the general's gone. And there they broke. Once the general's gone, they just so easily break Moria. Alright, that was it from me for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you soon in another video of Divide and Conquer. But until then, goodbye.